Hey guys, Mark Gaudette here, day number 29. If you were watching yesterday's video, we talked about getting rid of a couple of these limiting beliefs that are really holding us back. And today I'm going to kind of add a segment to that also came up on that same day, and this has to do with fear, right? And I love it. My friend, Cynthia on Facebook there, Cynthia Munn, always when we talk about fear, she puts something in the comments, false evidence appearing real, and I've heard that from her and Les Brown, and it's so true. And we're going to dive into this because this is going to help us, and I feel like it's helped me starting to move a lot more forward, a lot more quicker. So talking about this whole concept of fear and, how do we make ourselves not afraid to do something? Well, the reality is we got to look at fear in a couple ways, right? Fear is something that we're naturally going to experience when we try something new sometimes. Why? Because when they're outside of your comfort zone, if you've never done something before, it's always a little bit out of your comfort zone, it's stretching you, it may cause a little bit of apprehension, it may cause a bit of fear or anxiety or stress or worry, one of those emotions, right? And maybe hesitation, right? Because you don't know, it's like a big risk. What's on the other side of this? I've never done it before. Man, I've never created my e-pitch or told people, put myself out there, who I am, and explain to them what I do. And then, if I do that, what happens if they start asking me more questions and I'm not prepared to answer those things? How am I going to, tell them who I am? How am I going to really help serve them and show them that I have value? And how am I going to feel if I'm not able to do that, right? It's like all of these what ifs and these things that cause a little bit of fear, right? Because we're not sure. It's like, what do I expect next from it, right? It's when we look all those far ahead. And the reason why I love what Cynthia always, when she comments on my post, she's like, false evidence appearing real, is because it is false evidence. It's something that is created in our mind. Our mind is naturally a protective mechanism. It wants to keep us safe. And so it wants us to do the same things every single day because it feels safer and more secure doing that. It doesn't really cause us to grow. But the things that cause us to grow are always the things that add more value to our life and make us feel better about our life, right? Those are the things when we do it. And then when we do them, we look back and we're like, that wasn't really that scary, right? I can do this again. And so we need to use that fear not as a jailer, right? We don't want it to be like a jail guard and say, because I'm afraid, I'm not meant to do this. It doesn't feel right. We need to connect and say, hey, I see this fear, I feel this fear, but am I feeling this fear because it's not right? Or is it because this is something that's aligned with my vision that's just a little bit outside my comfort zone? It's going to cause me to stress. It's going to cause me to stretch, I should say. Because if that answer is yes, it's just that it's going to cause me to stretch, but it's in alignment, we really need to do everything we can to take that step. Because that's where we're going to get more power, and that's where we're going to take away that voice of fear, especially on something as simple as just taking a step forward. Like, one of the things that I realized I was afraid of is like, creating my e-pitch, like I just told you about. My e-pitch, like my elevator pitch, right? And it's because I had all these thoughts in my head about, well, do I want to be this? Do I want to be that? Does this resonate with this person? And I'm thinking about all of these things that are, whether they're going to make sense to other people and whether it's going to be accepted, whether it's going to work, whether it's the right thing, causing a little bit of anxiety, causing a little bit of fear. And the reality is I already had my e-pitch. But when we start to think about it and when we start to think too far ahead, sometimes we get a little bit of fear. And then I'm like, okay, what happens if after I get this e-pitch, they start asking for more, and I change it, and now I have to really, make it perfect and sound so nice. And so these little things, and it's so small, right? A lot of people would say, well, starting a business or, traveling to a new country or, getting that new job, those things would cause them maybe a bit of fear, whether to leave their job to go to somewhere else. But I'm talking about even small things, like go talk to this person or, go walk by this person who I've been attracted to for a while. It's kind of, things like that even causes a little bit of fear, or they're out of our comfort zone, right? And so it's just being aware to those things and recognizing that it's just all in our mind, right? And if it's in alignment with what we want, if it's just a little bit outside of our comfort zone, then that feeling is actually something we should take action on. You see, because I know I always talk about, you want to feel good, you want to feel great when you're applying your actions. Yes, as much as possible, you want to put the right energy and intentions into your actions. Absolutely. I mean, there's no question about that, that's going to give you better results than it doesn't. However, there's other emotions that we're meant to feel. Some are viewed as negative and some are positive. And all of these emotions have their purpose in our life. Now, I'm not saying go and feel negative all day and be a grump or be scared and anxiety all day, but sometimes they're used to give us counseling, right? We don't want to use them as jailers, but we want to use them as counselors. Counselors to see if we're meant to do something, that there's something we're supposed to do that we haven't been doing, and it's just giving us a little nudge to say, guys, you need to do this, or John, you need to do this, Sarah, you need to do this, right? So that's what I'm going to encourage you. Look at those negative emotions, as we call them, negative emotions. I don't believe they're good or bad. I believe they serve a purpose, and we have a choice to act on them or continue to live in them. But if we take the hints that are being messaged to us and use them as like a guidance counselor to tell us what we should be doing next, then we can take more action, right? Then we can really start to get back into that vibration and frequency that we want to feel again. So I use everything as sort of like, it's kind of, we're in between, right? Fear, anxiety, happiness, joy, all of those things, when we go one way or the other, it's like it's a ping pong. It's just letting us know, okay, like recalibrate the system, get more exact. It's just telling us what to do. And if we take a moment back and we realize and we ask ourselves, if I do this, is it going to be in alignment with what my goal is, what my purpose is, what my vision is? Then we can get more clarity, and we'll be able to say, yes, it is. It's just a little bit outside of my comfort zone, so I'm a bit scared. And that's okay, but I need to take action anyways. So just that overall understanding, awareness, and consciousness will allow you to take action with more ease, despite the fear, anxiety, and whatever else may come up. Because another thing that pops to the top of my head is when we talk about fear, we talk about faith, right? And, another thing Les Brown says is faith, finding answers in the heart, right? So take that action. Have faith. If it aligns with you, have faith, take action, and do something with it. And get your answers, because we don't want to use those negative emotions as jailers to hold us back. We want to use them as guidance counselors. They're a guidance counselor just telling us, hey, we're off course a little bit here, but you know what? We need to do something. We need to do something about that to recalibrate and get back into alignment with where we need to be. So nothing is good or bad. If we didn't have those, we may go so far in the wrong direction. Before we know it, our life has passed us by, and we haven't done the things that we need to do most to work on ourselves and move our goals forward. So main lesson of the day, guys, whether it's fear, anxiety, stress, whatever emotion that you're feeling that we classify as negative emotions when we talk to them, or lower level emotions, don't look at them as negative. Don't look at them to let you hold you back. Really take a step back and look at them not as a jailer, but a guidance counselor, something that's going to help steer you in the right direction, and see how, if it's just because we're going to be stretching outside of our comfort zone, that is the reason why we're hesitating. Because it's natural to feel anxiety or stress when we're going to be going outside of our comfort zone. It's always going to happen no matter what we do. Anything new we try, as simple as asking out a girl, starting a business, starting a new job, all those things can get us a little bit outside of our comfort zone. And that's okay, because that helps us grow. So just take that perspective, take that step back, and you'll realize you don't need to live in fear. You don't need to live in the anxiety. And you don't need to let that hold you back. You can take a rational approach, so using your heart and your mind in this approach, to really move forward and continue to experience the growth that you're meant to have. So I love you. I hope this helped. Just hit a little bit of a nugget on the head. I know I've mentioned fear, I've mentioned comfort zone in one of my other videos, but I just wanted to hit this home because sometimes it's in the most simplest things that I feel are holding us back, and even with me that I noticed. So I just wanted to make that aware for everyone so that you could benefit from what I've learned as well, even on the small things and on the big things, so that you can not be jailed by these emotions or view them as bad. So I love each and every one of you. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next video, which is going to be day 3030. Take care.